What is up, everybody? Welcome to a very special video that I am extremely excited about, extremely excited to talk about. I am super hyped to share an experience with you that I had these past 2 days. Thank you. Thank you to a very good, dear friend of mine. An actual ex-worker friend of mine that I've met through the years, a soon-to-be YouTuber, and a product tester that has been in the tech gaming market for a long time, a person that I've known personally for a long time, that knows the problems and trouble that I've been going through with these next-gen systems as far as availability and getting them and pre-ordering them. He lives in upstate New York, a few hours from here, not too far. I am on the border of PA and Pennsylvania, New York, from where I'm at in northern New Jersey. So I'm kind of like in the middle of everything. Pretty good location. So, I only go there usually when we do building PCs. If you watch my tweets throughout the months, I'm always saying, I'm working on a PC, or I'm helping a friend with a PC, or we're doing some lighting setups because he's into studio lighting. I'm usually up there with him. He had an Xbox Series X and a PlayStation 5, and thank God he did, because what a blast. I got there around Saturday, and I spent most of Sunday. And let me tell you something, man. We were up all night. We were up all morning. I tried to cram in as much as I could to have something to talk about, because who knows what's happening launch week this week, right? I'm going to try like hell. I'm definitely going to have coverage of the new systems. It's just a matter of when, right? But I could tell you right now, I'm definitely going to have a review after I have my systems, my own units, and enough time with them. But this is an early impressions, first experience with them. And I had a freaking blast. And let me tell you something. First of all, the weather was beautiful. It's gorgeous here in New Jersey and upstate New York. It's like mid-70s. It's insane right now. I bought all these winter jackets, and I haven't even put them on yet. Even these fall jackets. It's been gorgeous. We've been sweating. Everybody had their tops down, windows down. It was a beautiful weekend. But I was stuck inside. And I was doing some serious testing with my friend, and I have some amazing things to report on. I have the next-gen console countdown series that I started, where I talk about these new systems, and to actually have them in front of me in person and use these things that I've been talking about, let's face it, all year, and talking about these things on my channel for months, and finally be able to use them is just second to none. You could read all you want, you could watch videos, you could watch reviews, you could watch gameplay, but it's nothing like having a system in your hand and using it. That's why I'm so excited this week to hopefully get 2 of these systems in my house. I'm going to try like hell. So, and also systems for giveaways. We're going to be doing massive giveaways on the channel here. It's part of my holiday giveaway specials. An Xbox Series X and PS5, and possibly an S. So, I got there. He's a couple hours away, not too bad. Because the state of New York is long, and plus, where he's at. And I got to really mess with these systems now. He just bought a beautiful 8K television. Absolutely gorgeous. He actually has 3 TVs. And we did some serious testing because he was doing his full-on report. He was doing his full-on testing. So we did like TV testing. So we tried him on all these TVs. So he was in one room doing his thing, and he set me up in another room, normally where he does photography. But he kind of changed things around the week before because he was getting ready to do testing. And then when he found out I was coming that morning, he rigged the whole room. He set the TV up. Usually he has a big green screen in there. He took that down. I was in there and I was messing with the PS5. Well, yeah, the PS5 first. Well, he was messing with the Xbox Series S. And I got to spend with the first day, which was Saturday. I got to spend a few hours with the PS5, the disc version. You want to talk about balls. Now, first of all, the TV I was using was drop dead gorgeous. It was an LG. But when I got some beautiful TVs around here, we're actually bringing the one down for when I set these systems up. But because I use this one here as a monitor, then we have the curved Samsung upstairs, which I might be using that for the X. I got to see. But anyway, he had a nice setup. And he had the Sonos surround, you know. He had the Pulse headset. Sony had sent him that with the 3D. Unreal. Which we're going to try to get that here soon. And the first thing that I did was I sat with the machine and I messed with the UI. And the first game that I had played was Astro's Playroom. Absolutely gorgeous game. A charmful, cheery experience. But it was a test demo. But not a test demo for, per se, the console system. A test demo for the DualSense controller. See, the thing with the DualSense, it's almost like virtual reality, where you can't explain virtual reality to someone. I can't even explain it with direct capture because I've done it. You have to put the headset on somebody and let them experience it. Well, that's the same with DualSense. You have to hold this controller in your hand and experience it. It's not even the haptic feedback. It's beyond that, by the way. It's way beyond that. It's nothing to do with rumble, because we have that now. Has nothing to do with that. This is like on another level. Like, for example, there's a part in this game where there's like hail coming down. You could literally, aside from the rumble, separately, you could feel the hail hitting the controller, and it goes like through your hand. And the way that it makes you use the gestures, almost kind of like a smartphone, like a trackpad, and just the movements and the feel of the controller as you guide this little robot guy. I've covered Astro Robot on here before in the VR game and the past games, but this is on a whole other level with the DualSense. It's a shape of what's to come. And I'm thinking to myself as I'm playing this game, this is a launch game that's free inside the console. Oh, literally, the actual game is supposed to be inside your PlayStation 5 console, which is like the coolest thing. So you can see like the RAM, the motherboard, the CPU, the lights. But I'm thinking to myself, what developers are going to do and how they're going to take advantage of this freaking controller, because what technology is in this controller is beyond me. And I saw that with Astro's Playroom. Back to the UI. The UI is very good. The operating system, the user interface, I enjoyed it. I have some negatives with it, but I have positives. Overall, I like it. Overall, I like it better than the PlayStation 4's. Even though I miss a lot of the PlayStation 4 user interface, I still can say that to this day about the PlayStation 3's interface, moving to the PS4. But I think of it like this. It's got a lot. It's very involved. But it's still simplistic, which is good. But it's got a lot going on. It uses this thing called the Control Center. Now, this will change, okay? I noticed, depending on what game you're playing. So, like Astro's Playroom, when you bring up the Control Center, which is, we could always bring up no matter when you're playing the game. It's almost like a multitask switch. You know, it'll tell you what kind of trophies there are. It'll tell you what kind of objective. And depending on the game that you're playing, the control center will change and the menus will change. So like later on, we did Miles Morales. Later on, we did some older games, some PS4 games that we wanted to see how they were upgraded. But I think of it as like, we're going to go through it on this channel. I'm going to do a whole, once I get the system in the house, we're going to do a whole tour. But I think of it like the Switch, right? The Switch is, let's be honest, the most basic UI there is. It's simplistic to the max, but it works. You find what you want. It does the job. It's not confusing. And, you know, the PlayStation 5 user interface is like, it's almost like there, but to the next step. So it's going to take a while. I got to sit with it. I'm hoping that, you know, once I get my PS5, I'm going to go through the menus, find all the features, and mess with that. Now, on par with the Xbox, they have the quick resume. Now, they also have, we wanted to test older games. One of them we did was The Last of Us Part 2, which for whatever reason seemed to be loading slower than the PS4. But I'm sure that the patches for these games haven't rolled out yet. And it was also running it off of an older hard drive. Now, here's a word of advice. The Xbox Series X is calling it smart delivery, where it automatically finds out your version of the game and it automatically will update it for you to the best, you know, to the best version, and most of them are free. For example, like when Cyberpunk comes out, or like Gears 5, or for Forza Horizon. Well, the PlayStation 5 doesn't necessarily have smart delivery, but they're not calling it that. It's basically just an update. So it's almost like your PlayStation 4 when you have an update for a game. It's pretty much the same, but I guess it's going to download like a texture pack or something to upgrade it, to give it a boost. And they're going to roll that out, you know, slowly for each game to give it the optimization for the PlayStation 5, as opposed to just running it non-natively. Backwards compatibility as opposed to an actual PS5 version. As opposed to coming out with the actual PS5 version, which I'm sure they will. Just like Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate is coming out, PS5 is on the actual box cover. That'll be pre-optimized. But I'm talking about games that you own now that when you pop in, how are they going to get optimized? We'll see, I guess, how that rolls out after launch, because those updates aren't live yet. But everything seemed to run fine. We played a lot of things. We played a lot of PS4 games. And a thing to note about the PlayStation 5, you cannot store the PlayStation 5 games on an external USB. You can store them. But you can't play them. You have to shift them back to the internal. You can play PlayStation 4 games. So if you have a PlayStation 4 external hard drive filled with games, you should be able to plug and play that. I'm trying to think if we tested that. I think we did. But PlayStation 5 games, you want to free that space up. And it's only like 600 and something gigs. You want to free up that space because, you know, Miles Morales, Demon Souls, Astrobot, Godfall, Bug Snacks, they're only going to run on the internal hard drive. So, you know, PlayStation's basically saying delete and reinstall. It kind of sucks. They are coming out with external support and of course external SSD support, but that's not here yet. Kind of a bummer. We played Miles Morales. It's fucking amazing. It's very comparable to the original Spider-Man, which was amazing. Of course, we didn't go through the whole thing, but we played a lot of it. I absolutely enjoyed it. The graphics look absolutely killer. I am going to say this. I'm going to say it right now. Demon Souls could be contender of Game of the Year. It's a remake. Well, I'm not even going to say the word remaster because that's a whole different story. Remake, reimagining. It's a fucking beautiful showpiece of the PS5. It's a beautiful showpiece of next gen. It's just for what we played of it. It's just the graphics are stunning. The frame rate is stunning. There was zero stutter. And you want to talk about fast and fluid and just drop dead gorgeous. Beautiful. You would never know that that's just a reimagining of an older game. Has nothing to do with the older game, by the way. It's beautifully rebuilt. It reminds me of like Shadow of the Colossus, the remake on the PS4. Okay. Beautiful machine. The Xbox Series X. The UI is very similar to the God, this is so fucking confusing. Thanks, Microsoft. This the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S and X. But it's got some really nice features, and it's fucking fast. And of course, it's got the quick resume. And let me tell you something: the quick resume is unbelievable. We've tested this. I don't know how it does it, but it suspends the games. And I think, how did we do it? We wanted to do it with something with fast motion. So we did it with Forza Horizon 4, which with the upgrade bump looks absolutely stunning. It looks like a brand new next-gen game. It looks like if they was to announce a new Forza game, this is what it would look like. And I'm sure that's a combination of a lot of things. Of the power of the system, but also the resolution and the television that you're running it on, right? But we resumed it with Gears 5? Yeah. Or Will o' the Wisp, one of them. And we bounced back and forth to like 2 or 3 different things. And there was zero latency. There was zero lag. It was like the games were running in the background fluently. I never seen nothing like it. I never seen nothing like it. And I'm gonna talk about the power of the Xbox in a little bit because I have something to say about it. A note to all reviewers out there. Because I've been in tech for a long time and I've been building PCs for a long time. I'm going to tell you something right now. But, yeah, quick resume. Smart delivery is going to be unbelievable. We tested a little bit of xCloud, cloud gaming. He does have an Android, so we did Gears 5 on the Android. It worked phenomenal. He's got that whole controller kit. I told you, the guy's got freaking connections. I'm gonna have him on my show very soon. I'm thinking maybe January. I'm gonna dedicate and give him a big shout out bump. Gonna give him some plugs. He's coming. I'm waiting to debut him. I might do it on my Murray Chat podcast. I might revamp that, by the way, and I think that might do it in January. Yeah, so the Xbox Series X. So one of the things that I really love is that when you go in your Xbox now, there is the setups menu. And when you go in there, there are filters, okay? Like I could filter out what games are on my internal, and I could filter what games are on my external, or I could filter all the games together. Well, the Series X has that, but you could filter next gen like only or optimized only. And when we did that, Forza Horizon and Gears 5 came up. So it's really nice. It tells you what are optimized. We played Witcher 3, but the upgradable update isn't out yet for that. I know it's coming. There is a free optimization smart delivery update for that. You know, CD Projekt Red is excellent for that. They're doing it with Cyberpunk. But we just played it, and it played beautifully. The lighting, load times on these systems, non-existent. I'm talking the older games, newer games. Oh, as far as backward compatibility, we tried freaking almost everything on the Series X. I don't know. He was doing that. I was so into like the newer stuff. He was doing that in the other room, with the X. He told me everything that he threw at it worked great. So that's what I can report on. We're gonna be doing that here. He's got Game Pass and all that, so he's able to try a shitload of stuff. The controller is very similar to the Xbox One controller, but it's got the share button. Really nice, feels really good in the hands. He had the Elite controller over there as well. He had a really nice Astro headset as well that I was using. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Okay, so listen. Okay? An absolute blast. Okay? Oh, Dirt 5. He has Dirt 5. We played Dirt 5. It was fucking... I'm getting it. I fell in love with it. It's awesome. But I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people are doing the showdown, PS5 versus Xbox. You know, they have to. And a lot of them are giving it to the PlayStation 5. And I think it's because exclusive games and, you know, we got games you don't. Whatever. But listen to me. I'm going to tell you something. I mean, the PlayStation 5 is fucking powerful shit. No joke. But the Xbox Series X is one powerful ass beast. There's nothing that we threw at it that it didn't fucking hesitate. And I think it's not getting the credit that a lot of them are giving Sony. I just, you know, here's what it comes down to. And, you know, I was thinking about this for many years. And now I'm really come to the understanding that this is what's happening. Because we're giving stuff a number, right? And a name. So naturally we have to say to ourselves, oh, that's a new system. Because we're so used to it from the days when we went from PS2 to PS3. Or the days when we went from the N64 to the GameCube. Or the GameCube to the Wii. Or the NES to the Super NES. You know, or the Dreamcast to the, you know what I mean? That's not what's happening anymore. Basically, what these are PC upgrades that will play everything from the last gen, that are compatible with your old software, and more. So you really have to think of these systems no different than the Series X. I'm sorry, no different than the Xbox One X, and no different than the PS4 Pro. No different. Sure, there will be titles on these that the other generation cannot play. It's going to happen. But they are upgrades like you would upgrade a PC. And that's the level we're in now. Do you remember back in the day when you went out and you bought a system and it went by the graphics bit? Oh, this is an 8-bit. Oh, this is a 16-bit. And then I remember there was a big thing with the PlayStation. Whoa, this N64's got a beat. It's 64-bit. PlayStation's 32-bit. Notice that doesn't happen no more. That's gone. So then that era was gone. The bit era was gone. Same with the way that we think of consoles. They're really upgraded machines like you would upgrade a PC. So basically, the Xbox Series X and PS5 has bigger hardware and tech than the last generation of consoles. You really have to think of them that way. And when your software carries over and plays better, sure, that's great. They're making that as a knock, like the Xbox Series X. Oh, all it is an upgraded machine that makes your Xbox One games play better. What do you think a fucking PC is? What the fuck do you think a PC is? But they're raving about PCs. I know, I built PCs since I was a kid. That's why you build a PC, to make your same game run better. You don't build a PC and say, oh, this game's incompatible with my new PC. It doesn't work no more. It doesn't work that way. It's a PC. Same with these consoles now. It's not like, it's not like it was. It's not like I can't put my NES game in the Super Nintendo. It doesn't work. That's gone. These are really like upgraded systems, and that's what we want. So, sure, the Series X is a high beefed Xbox One. Yeah. So is the PS5. Oh, well, Phil Spencer said that no dedicated exclusives will come for a long time to the Xbox Series X. It'll be available on Windows and it'll be available on Xbox One. Okay. But the best experience will be on the Series X because it's a high-powered machine. And, that's what you got to keep in mind. That's what these reviewers don't seem to understand when they're doing these showdowns. And, you got to be knowledgeable of what you're talking about, You can have a showdown. You can have one being better than the other, but you have to keep these things in check, Xbox has no games. Well, actually, you're wrong. You have to first have more than half a brain, But anyway, that was my weekend. It was fucking fantastic. I had a blast. Then I left there, and I did some serious shopping. I hit about 32 stores. The hardcore shopping season at the Murray household has started. We hit 32 stores. I went and got about 150 Christmas decorations. I bought about 32 new pieces for my Christmas village, which I will be starting this week. I bought a lot of tech at Best Buy. I think I walked away with $11,000 worth of shit yesterday. Then I went to Target. Then I went to GameStop. I went to 3 GameStops because I actually know the managers in all 3 and I'm friends with them, and I haven't seen them down that way in a long time. So I was talking with them. What else? Then I took the wife shopping and I did her whole Christmas shopping, got her done. So I got a big jump start on the holidays. But, it was a great weekend. It was a fun weekend. We did a lot of great testing. And I couldn't wait to report on this. But there's so much more I want to tell you. I'm saving it for my channel. I'm saving it for my coverage for when I get my systems. We're going to do everything firsthand together. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to be on the lookout for backups for Series X. Thursday, I'm going to do it again for PS5 plus the giveaway consoles. So I'm going to have more information. Listen, you want to follow me on Twitter at Sean Murray NJ. It's very important because I don't always make these videos, and I'm very open on there, and I update people a lot more than I do YouTube. So you want to follow me on Twitter, on other forms of social media. That is my early impressions and thoughts on the next-gen consoles. I will eventually have a full-on review and maybe a showdown versus. Lots of award shows coming up, end-of-the-year specials, and lots of Christmas specials, and more giveaways and exclusive content coming to Murray and J08. Please stick around. We have lots of stuff coming. You don't want to miss out. Take care, everybody. Be safe. Be well. Stay tuned. And hope to see you again very soon.